5-2 win on Garden Ice this afternoon over the rival Islanders. Hi everyone, John Giannone from my spot between the benches. Henrik Lundqvist and Steve Valiquette are inside our Delta MSG studios from the Garden. Gents, it was more than enough offense and so much more than enough from Igor Shesterkin on an afternoon that I would think the Rangers ultimately would have to feel a level of satisfaction.
Well, when I look for a great game to watch, I want scoring chances, I want goals, but more importantly, I want great goaltending. We checked all three. It was a lot of fun to watch this game. And from the get-go, obviously, Igor was spectacular. Sorokin was really good as well in the back and forth. But the thing with Igor, the timely saves, that was really the difference. Special teams, huge difference maker in this game as well. I enjoyed it. I really did.
Well, great fan experience. I don't know if the coaches are going to love the overall experience.
But we don't care about that. We care about the fan experience.
Hank, I've seen you go on ridiculous runs like this where you're locked in. What do you think Igor is experiencing right now?
Well, there's no questioning. It's just being out there playing his game. And when you feel that, when you have that confidence in yourself, you just let the game speak for itself. And it's such a good feeling. And obviously, he feels the importance of playing great right now, and he's such a big factor in every game. And that, for a goalie, that's a great feeling. He comes up with these massive saves at the right time. I think the big one today was really a 3-2 game, 2-on-1. He comes across and makes an incredible save. A couple minutes later, Rangers goes up 4-2. And moments like that, you know, it can really turn the game in the right direction for a team. But thinking back, you have to pick one save. It's hard in this one because both sides, but Sorokin and Igor, they were trading big saves every couple minutes.
Just like the team to just capture that momentum a little bit better. And one of the goals that really stood out to me was Trocheck's 2-0 goal. So we're going to go to the CDW, brought to you by CDW, the film room. One thing that I really noticed from this goal is it's a goal that teams love because everybody gets involved. And when everybody gets involved, that means it takes 5 to get it across the line and typically involves fighting to get the puck back after you've lost it on a forecheck. But everybody stays on guard here, and when Smith gets down below the goal line, he stays in the play to create offense. Right here, anytime you can take the puck away from your opponent, they are now scrambling, and you can look for added offense with the goalie down early in the reverse VH to make that pass to slot here. That is next level hockey IQ. And I think when you look at the overall team game, yes, there were a lot of chances against the Rangers, but the Rangers, you can't deny it, their offense is clicking at a high level, at 5-on-5 and on the
really is. And I love the forechecking in this game. They forced the Islanders to a lot of mistakes in their own end, and that's really when you get hurt too. Those first couple seconds when you lose the puck, it's hard to scramble and get into right position. So the Rangers exposed them a bunch of times on the forecheck, and it's so important to establish forecheck in a game because that's how you can really turn a game as well. That led to a couple of goals, and not to give up on any plays. We talked the other game a couple of days ago about making it hard. Every play, make it hard for them to make any sort of plays in their own end, offensively, and that starts with the effort and the stick. Keep going after them, and again, really force them to make mistakes. And if it's not a mistake, at least force them to make a tough play. Every play should be hard for your opponent, and it starts with how committed you are to back check and to forecheck and to really stay close to them. And I thought they did a pretty good job with that offensively, the Rangers.
Yeah, Trocheck's goal, Smith's assist, 2 of 10 Rangers with a point on the day. Igor Shesterkin now 6-2-1 on the season. He's allowed 2 or fewer goals in 6 of his 9 starts. Let's hear from Igor Shesterkin. Michelle Gingras inside the Rangers dressing room.
Soft rebound from me in the first one, but we did a great job.
Igor, what do you like about the way the PK is playing in front of you right now?
They play awesome. A lot of block shots and smart plays, so we work on that a lot in practice.
I think it was a 2-on-1, the save that you made on Horvat, and then Edstrom scored a little while, just a minute or two later. What did you see on that? It would look like pass came across, and I think you got your right pad on it. Like, what? Just, you remember the play?
Yeah. So he makes a step in the middle, and I thought he will make a pass, but like from Horvat, he was a lefty, and I expect like he will make a pass back for him, and so I didn't go down, and he make a shot, and I was a little bit lucky because my blocker was there, so I need to play more compact.
Do you still mean a lot to you when you get to go against Ilya and get a win against him?
Every game is important, so like I said, we did a great job tonight, and so Ilya played well too. He made a lot of huge saves.
Always love when you goalies talk about luck when you make an incredible save. But I did want to ask about something he talked about, which was the Rangers' penalty kill. Killed off 4 today, now have killed off 16 in a row, and 34 out of 37 this season. You heard Shesterkin say they work a lot on the PK in practice. How much is practice and how much is it just sheer will to succeed on the PK, guys?
Well, I think it's a combination of a lot of things, but you work together as a foursome. It's not going to work if you have 1 or 2 guys doing a great job out there. The key to their success is they work so well as a group, a 4-man unit, reading off of each other, when to jump, when to put pressure, when to sit back. And to have a great PK, it gives the team so much confidence. You're allowing your team to play on the edge, maybe a couple penalties you want to take back in this one, a couple sloppy plays maybe, but overall, when your PK is this good, it just gives the entire team so much confidence. The reverse, if you don't have a great PK, this insecurity really sinks into the group that, okay, we can't take any penalties, we can't afford any mistakes, but the way they're playing, plus they had a shorthanded goal.
Yeah.
So just the amount of confidence this brings to the team in a game where, yeah, there was a little back and forth, a lot of open chances, but that, if you bring that as a starting point, they're going to be able to kill off so many big penalty minutes, but also kill off the momentum from the opponent, which they did tonight.
You know, John, it's not by accident it's the #1 PK in the NHL right now. I don't think we talk enough about Dan Muse, who runs the PK. They don't allow the pass across the ice when they are down. They do when they're at 5-on-5. I think the team defends with more intent and more energy and more connected on the penalty kill. If anything, talk about getting into the film room, I think they'd really benefit from seeing more about how they're playing at 5-on-4 at 5-on-5.
Yeah, part of a well-oiled Ranger machine now, 8-2-1 on the season. Mika Zibanejad had 3 assists in the game. He assisted on goals 1, 3, and 5. His second 3-point game of the season. Let's hear what Mika Zibanejad had to say after this 5-2 Rangers win.
I thought from start to finish was a pretty good game from us.
How did you feel about kind of the line switch and how you felt with Panarin and Lafreniere?
Felt good. I thought all the lines were gelling and playing well. I think the good start that we got to the game kind of got everyone's energy up a little bit, and we excited to play with new guys too. We have played with both of them in the past here and there, but it was it's fun. It was good.
Where pretty much every line in deep air switched after a game. It was after a win too. What does that tell you about what the coach was thinking about how the game went, and is it I don't think a wake-up call, but I mean, is it something that gets a lot of notice?
Yeah, I mean it definitely gets more notice from people around and maybe us too after a win. But I mean, seemed to work today. So I think it's not. I think I said this yesterday before to some of you guys. I mean, everyone's unbelievable, and I think a lot of us have played together at some point. So I don't think it's too much. And I think a game like today, you can see everyone just playing their own game within the lines, and I think no matter what lines we have, I think we got players that can adapt quickly and they play together. So it was good to see.
With all the talk about the lines, one thing that stays the same is you and Chris together on the PK. The play where you guys score, curious to hear your thoughts on that, and just the way that you're able to read off of each other and create chances when you get those takeaways.
Yeah, I mean, it's soon 9 years together, so you get familiar with each other, and obviously we play on the PK, so most of the chances you get on the penalty kill is going to be 2-on-1s usually, or 2-on-2s, so he made a great play to me, and just got open. He was ready for a pass back, and I thought the lane was pretty open. So, yeah, it was a good start for us. But I thought overall, honestly, every guy in here played a really good game, and it was a really good team win.
And that included first star of the night, Artemi Panarin. A power play goal in the second period, an empty net goal in the third. Now 9 goals, 9 assists, 18 points in 11 games for the Rangers.